Hi guys, so today I'm gonna make a video on a social issue that was brought to my attention today, um, and it has to do with social health. Now this video is gonna be longer than normal because it requires a lot more details. All right, so this is how it started. This morning, I received a message over social media from someone I don't know. He identified himself as the fiance of a friend of mine. Well, I should say an acquaintance of mine, and I'm quoting now. It says, "Call me, let's talk. No time for games, homie. How you know my fiance?" And he gave me his phone number. Then he says, "You communicating with my woman for what reason? Hit me up." So I was taken aback because that's not the gate. I don't play any emotional games and things like that. And then I got angry about it. But, I took my time and analyzed the information. I sent a text to my acquaintance from college because that's who she is, an acquaintance from college. So I sent her a text over social media, letting her know what happened, what had transpired. So, and for her to contact me. So far, she hasn't contacted me back yet. But the thing with the social media thing is not social media, but the thing with social health, as part of total health, is that people, when they when there's an imbalance in the five healths that I've talked about, look at some of the videos and you will see me talk individually about the five healths. It can lead to things like this, and it concerned me because this person is someone I went to college with 15 years ago. That's probably around the last time I saw her. And we parted ways back then as acquaintances, not good friends, as acquaintances. A person that me and some of my friends went to class with, and we were friends of friends. So it wasn't that we were buddies. And recently we reconnected back over social media, and out of the blue, I got a message like that. So that is the situation, an acquaintance. And it brings up a very serious topic with my 8 years experience studying social psychology, especially within the realm of foster care. Um, this particular issue is quite concerning. Now, to the men out there, if you're going to ask a woman to marry you, you should be comfortable within yourself, to trust her enough to even ask her to marry you. If you don't trust her to love you, and or you don't have peace of mind being with her, then you shouldn't even ask her to marry you. But if for some reason you're overlooking those things as a man, and I'm talking to men right now, is that you should never be in a relationship where you're policing who the woman you're going to spend the rest of your life with, who she associates with. You should be comfortable within yourself as a man to say, this is a woman I choose to marry. She accepted me as her husband. Therefore, there's no need for me to do all this crazy stuff, because it is crazy to me. So to me, it's a pre-pubescent type attitude. It's like a playground mentality. We we were children once. We became teenagers, which I call a retard stage, and then we grew out of that stage and become men. So men who are still stuck in that retard stage really need to evolve beyond that before they could even make a serious commitment to a woman, especially a woman you claim to love, but you don't love her enough to trust her. And to contact someone like myself who has not communicated in any way, shape, or form in the past 15 years, except to accept her as a friend, on social media, and that have you flipping out. Okay, so you really have to look at yourself, see where you are mentally, and rather be being that kind of hovering type thing, it eventually going to come back and bite you as a man. Men that act like that usually don't stay happy forever. And who wants to be miserable, always looking over his shoulder? Who's she talking to? What's she doing? No, who wants to live like that? Nobody. That's not peace. That's not happiness. And if you have to do that, you should not be with that woman. To the ladies, if you're watching this video, I strongly, strongly urge that if you're in a situation with a man that does something like this, you really have to prioritize what's important to you. Because a person like that is unstable emotionally and maybe mentally. And from my experience in the field, it can lead to physical abuse, or not, I wouldn't say emotional abuse, because that's, unless it's intentional, but there's mental abuse that can take place. And because emotional abuse is something that occurs if it's if the person inflicting the abuse if that's not his motive, then it's not really emotional abuse. With the mental abuse, and that leads to physical abuse that follows something like that, because a policing type mentality, where a person is aggressive in that nature to reach out to people who just happen to be a man. Granted, I'm not not to be conceited, but I'm not an ugly guy or a plain looking man. I'm fairly good looking. And now there are a lot of men out there that's far better looking than myself, obviously, but I'm not an ugly person to look at. And of course, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, of course. But in the past, I've encountered similar situations with other friends, female friends, where a guy sees a picture of me and all of a sudden he doesn't want her talking to me, even though she and I have been friends, and real friends, for 15, 20 years. And in some instances, friends walked away from that type of relationship. And in some instances, they stayed within the relationship, and then I took a step back, but they eventually end up leaving that person. And because life becomes miserable, you cannot have harmony of physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. You can't have none of those harmonies if one of them is causing severe trauma, because it affects the entire spectrum of health. So hopefully you guys who are looking at this video really take the time to understand what I'm trying to say when it comes to social health. Is it worth being in a relationship where you're constantly being watched? If you're a man or a woman, where is the peace of mind? Where is the trust? If for some reason you're getting involved with a person who has already cheated on you in some way, shape, or form, then you shouldn't be marrying that person. You should be moving on instead of policing that person, because there's an old proverb or saying, if you put water in your hand and cup it, you can hold it, but if you squeeze it, it'll all fall out. When you put such a ironclad leash of policing on people, It's unhealthy for yourself. It's unhealthy for the person you're doing it to. It's embarrassing, you know, because here I had to respond to my friend, well, the acquaintance, and ask her what's going on first, because I'm not gonna call this guy unless she tells me it's okay, because she understands the situation better than I. And then I contacted another mutual friend of ours, and just in case he's monitoring her email or her social media, so that way she can get in touch with her friend and get pass the information on to her. But it is very, very concerning. If you're a man, grow the hell up. All these crazy things is unnecessary. You're gonna die young, get a heart attack because you're always on edge. Somebody's trying to take my girl, type thing. If somebody takes your girl, she wasn't your girl to begin with. And if she was your girl, and you do that crazy stuff, she left not because of me, she left because of your crazy ass. So hopefully this video helps some of y'all. I will probably do a follow-up video on this because this topic is so serious, and the ramifications of it, if left unchecked, can lead to fatalities. You know, not just abuse, but some people die from this sort of thing. So if you're a woman out there and someone contacts you, or a friend of yours or acquaintance contacts you and say, hey, your man just hit me up talking about he wanted to know why we communicating, and leave his phone number and stuff, that's a red flag to move the hell on. And if you're in a situation where you can't move the hell on, go home to your mom or your dad. If you have nowhere to go, contact one of your friends, your close friends, and just move on out, because you're going to end up getting hurt mentally, emotionally, and physically, and you could even lose your life. To the fellas, grow the hell up. See, all this little boy stuff about why you talking about a woman and things like that, if you feel that way, that there's a possibility that she gonna leave, or that's a trust issue, walk away. Find another person who you can trust wholeheartedly. And if you can't, then you're gonna be the one ending up going to jail or doing something stupid because you don't have the ability to trust the person that you intend to marry. If you all have any comments, make a comment in the section below. Ask questions specific to this particular topic. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe. You all have a good day.